And we are live. It's great to be alive. What's up, hustlers? Paulo, the Foreign Hustler. We're going to be doing another reading of the 10x Rule, Grant Cardone, chapters 11 and 12. It's about 10 pages. So feel free to join in. I'll be doing some analysis on it too when it comes up. I left the link down below if you're interested. And you can get it at the library for free. Rent it. So let's get into it. So chapter 11 is about breaking out of the middle class. So let's get on with it. Please don't take any offense at what I write in this chapter. I know many of you have spent your whole life trying to get to the middle class, and I'm about to tell you it is a wrong goal. Have an open mind. I am going to write an entire book on this topic one day, but for now, let's just think about breaking out of what I call the middle class mentality. I believe I can make the case that the middle class is a group of hurt most by its members' thinking and actions, leaving themselves to be the most susceptible to insecurity and pain. Although this is a group that many people aspire to be a part of, it is also a group that seems the most trapped, manipulated, and at risk. Is the middle class really as good a status as you've been made to believe? Do you even know what it means to be middle class or what puts a person in this group? Before you make a decision about where you are going or your group you're striving to belong to, it would be wise to inspect the statistics of that group. All right, so we're going to get into the statistics of the middle class. The incomes of the middle class. Reports from Wikipedia and why would you use, it's okay, I guess, to use Wikipedia, but, okay. Reports from Wikipedia and the 2008 census suggests that the middle class income range is somewhere between $35,000 to $50,000 per year. Read another set of studies, and these figures are between $22,000 and $65,000 per year. It's no secret that it would be extremely difficult to live on either of these income levels in an urban area like New York or LA, much less feel financially secure. This experience is not what most people would consider a desirable situation. Yeah, because even in Seattle, like, you cannot live with that income. I mean, the rent here is like $1,200, $1,400. The middle class is further divided into the upper and lower middle class. The upper middle class usually consists of people who have substantial assets and household earnings of over $1 million per year, although there's nothing to substantiate what makes $1 million the mark. I guess it just sounds good. Most people consider $1 million to be a lot of money until they have it. Then they realize that it doesn't go very far, since a person's decisions and considerations tend to change once he or she enters a new income bracket. The people in the supposed upper middle class occupy noticeably higher positions in their offices and are considered financially more stable than many of their peers. This may very well be the case until any sort of economic destruction occurs. Then we tend to see even this group is unprotected. Admittedly, members of this group should experience a considerable rise in their incomes due to the economic growth of the nation in good times. They have higher disposable incomes than many of their counterparts. And the lower middle class, which consists of people who have basic educational qualifications and an annual income of between $30,000 and $60,000. The lower class constitutes a large part of the country's total population. This set frequently struggles to reach the upper classes level. However, when economic hardships takes hold, everyone gets pulled down. A client of mine recently asked me via text message on the 26th of the recent month Grant, I have a net 10,000 to keep my doors open this month. How can I do this? I happened to get his message during a Sunday football game, so I asked him, "Are you watching the game today?" Oh, I see. I think I know where this is going. He texted me back, "Yes." I then replied, "What are you doing taking a Sunday off to watch the game? You should be out distributing flyers, spending every second of every hour trying to create income in excess of what you need." Excess income. Yeah. And by the way, you need 100,000 in net profits, not 10,000. Wow. He responded, Sunday, he responded, is a day of rest. Oh boy, I shot back. It is for those that work the other 6 days. The Lord wasn't talking to the people who are short on funds and haven't earned the day of rest. So turn off the game, get off your couch, and go get the money you need. Quit being a middle-class slave and go create the income you need to secure wealth and financial freedom for yourself and your household and your company. I think he got the message. So pretty much, Sunday you're watching the football game, you're doing nothing. Like if I was watching the football game, I would be like listing or something, or like repricing on Amazon. You shouldn't be just watching the TV and not do anything. So this is what Grant Cardone is talking about. My client is at risk because he has been operating based on what he needs and therefore is just getting by. Unfortunately, this middle-class mentality will not create financial security. The banks dried up on him. He could no longer depend on credit for his cushion, and he now depends only on his actions. This is the problem with many members of the middle class. They go after what they deem necessary rather than ever going really big. Most people believe that a comfortable middle-class life includes clothes, a house, a few cars, vacation time, maybe an upper management position, and some money in the bank. However, depending on the period in history to which we are referring, the term middle class has had a variety of meanings, many of which have been and still are quite contradictory. It has referred to the class of people between peasants and nobility, whereas other definitions suggest that middle class had enough capital to rival nobles. We're clearly come a long way from that meaning today. For in India, the middle class is considered to be those who reside in an owner-occupied property, whereas a blue-collar job makes you middle class. In the United States and in Europe, that makes you a member of the working class. An important distinction that I'd like to make is my own reference to middle class as a mindset rather than an income level. Someone who makes $1 million a year may still adopt middle class thinking and actions. It is more of a mentality that creates the trap that will fail you. The middle class is in large part a goal that will not provide you with what you truly want. It is middle, normal, or average, synonymous with the terms we've already deemed as highly unattractive. But what does the middle class mean to most people nowadays? In 2009, February, authoritative weekly publication The Economist announced that over half the world's population now belongs to this group as a result of rapid growth in emerging countries. The article characterized middle class as having a reasonable amount of discretionary income and not having to live from hand to mouth as the poor do. It was defined as the beginning of the point where people have roughly a third of their income left for discretionary spending after paying for basic food and shelter. However, almost no member of today's middle class has 1/3 of his or her income left for discretionary income. This group is currently being hammered by something called the middle class squeeze, a situation in which increases in wages fail to keep up with the inflation of the middle income earners. At the same time, the phenomenon fails to have a similar impact of top wage earners. Add to that the fact that much of the supposed middle class's wealth has come from assumed debt and home equity calculations that were more ink than real money. Persons belonging to the middle class frequently find that their dependence upon credit, worsened by the collapse of the housing market, prevents them from maintaining a middle-class lifestyle, making downward mobility a threat to counteract aspirations of upward mobility. This is the gravity resistance and unexpected conditions I mentioned earlier. This group then experiences middle-class income declining as jobs lost. And for the first time in our history, we are seeing more men lose jobs. We are seeing more men lose jobs than women because higher paid males are being let go in favor of keeping their less expensive counterparts. At the same time, prices of necessary items such as energy, education, housing, and insurance continue to increase while wages decrease. Yep, that's true. This kind of squeeze always affects the largest groups of people in a given population. The wealthy don't depend on income and debt, and the poor will receive help from which the middle class don't qualify. For most people, being middle class means having a reliable job with fair to good pay, consistent health care, fairly comfortable home, a nice neighborhood, good education, whatever that means for one's children, time off for vacations, this is highly valued, and money in a 401k that is growing and allowing for decent retirement. Yet all of this, taken for granted for long, is now in turmoil thanks to housing implosion and credit collapse. The existing middle class is being squeezed and hopes at best to hold on to recover past achievements. The group's average income is steadily decreasing. Its members' jobs are in jeopardy and their savings and investments have been put at risk. The greatly appreciated vacation of the past will probably be more like a visit to the neighborhood park. Whoa, that's a downgrade. What is the point of me telling you all this? Ask people in the middle class if this feels secure, desirable, and although they claim that they are grateful not to be poor, they will likely tell you that they feel more like a member of working class than the middle class. Consider as well the fact that the dollar is worth less today than it was yesterday and will be worth even less tomorrow. Someone who's making $60,000 a year pays $15,000 in taxes. If that person is lucky, he or she is left with $45,000 a year, which is really only worth $32,000 for home, school, insurance, food, car payments, fuel, medical emergencies, vacations, and savings. Does this sound desirable to you? Middle class was a dream sold to countless Americans as a good goal toward which they should strive. Yet, in reality, it is really only close to good. And probably better, described as a mousetrap with a fat piece of cheese on it. I contend that the middle class is the most suppressed, restricted, and confined socio-economic demographic in the world. Those who desire to be part of it are compelled to think and act in a certain way where just enough is the reward. The idea that one would only have enough to be comfortable or adequately satisfied is a concept that has been sold by the educational system, the media, and politicians to convince an entire population of people to settle instead of strive for abundance. Yeah. However, it only takes a bit of waking up. Wake up to discover that it is a promise without fulfillment. Today, the wealthiest 5% of the people control $80 trillion. Today, the wealthiest, which is more money than has been created in the history of mankind. If you knew that you had the same energy and creativity to make it in the next level, wouldn't you give it a try? Yeah, so that's chapter 11, breaking out of the middle class. It was only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. Yeah, so this really hit hard over here. It says, today the wealthiest 5% of people control 80 trillion, which is more money than has been created in the history of mankind. So that's a lot. Like, and it talks about why are we just aiming for, enough. It says just enough as a reward. Why not aim for more, So that is the middle class right there. Try to aim for more. Yeah. Because when you have an emergency and you only have this much, that's not enough. So it doesn't matter if you have 100, like if you make 100,000 or a million, you need to have abundance. You never know where the markets will go. You never know what kind of emergency you'll go through, family emergency. So abundance is the mindset. All right, so that's chapter 11. We're going to knock out chapter 12. Just another 4 pages. Want to give a shout out to Ryan A. Raymond. What's up, Ryan? He sells t-shirts on Amazon. Let's go subscribe to him. Rosie's Closet. Hello, I haven't caught you in a live in a while. What's up, Rosie? Crystal. Yeah. What's up, Crystal? And we got Noah. Noah Mensis. What's up, Paul? What's up, Noah? Well, my name is Paulo. Paulo is a lot cooler than Paul. Anyways, hope you're doing good, Noah. Congrats on getting monetized, by the way. All right, so we're going to knock out chapter 12, and then I'm going to get on with my day. So thanks for joining us. The next chapter is called Obsession Isn't a Disease, It is a Gift. The dictionary defines the term obsessed as the domination of one's thoughts or feelings by a persistent idea, image, or desire. Although the rest of the world tends to treat this mindset like a disease, I believe that it's the perfect adjective for how you must approach success. To dominate your sector, your goal, dream, or ambition, you must first dominate your every interest, thought, and consideration. Obsession is not a bad thing here. It is a requirement to get where you want to go. In fact, you want to be so fanatical about success that the world knows you will not compromise or go away. And until you become completely obsessed with your mission, no one will take you seriously until the world understands that you're not going away, that you are 100% committed and having complete and utter conviction and will persist in pursuing your project. You will not get the attention you need and the support you want. In this context, obsession is like a fire. You want to build it so big that people feel compelled to sit around in admiration. And as with a fire, you have to keep adding wood to sustain the heat and glow. You obsessed over how to keep your fire burning, or have to follow up every action with an obsession to see it through to success. You need to stay seriously motivated to take 10x actions every day. Though people take action constantly, we know that much of this isn't the kind of action that's going to get them anywhere. Most are doing nothing or have already given up, and others retreat in an attempt to avoid failure and negative experiences. Huge segments of the population are merely operating at normal levels in order to get by and fit in. Each of these groups lacks the obsession to see their actions all the way through to success. Most people make only enough effort for it to feel like work, whereas the most successful follow up every action with an obsession to see it through all the way. Yeah, so it talks about most are doing nothing or have already given up. So it may seem like, let's apply that to reselling. So you might be going to thrift stores, right? Maybe like a couple a week, maybe like 1 or 2 around your area. And that's it. You should be going out of your city. You should be going other places, sourcing other thrift stores, other stores, other, like yard sales, church sales. That's normal levels. In a previous chapter, Grant talks about how he had to call 40 different people to get them to buy his product. That's, he was doing 4 times. At one point, he was just doing 4 times a day, but he 10x that. 4 times 10 is 40. So he did 40 different clients a day. And that is what we need to be doing. So if you're sourcing like 3 times, like I don't know. It's probably possible to source like 40 times in one day if you like leave the house early and you get home at night. But if you're not multiplying your efforts by 10x, or not even 10x, but like 5x, you're not gonna go to where you want to be. If you want to become obsessed with your idea, purpose, or goal, you will become equally addicted to the idea of making it work. Anyone who makes it in his or her mission to create long-term positive 10x survival will have to approach each moment, decision, action, and day with this level of fixation. After all, if your ideas do not excessively preoccupy your own thoughts, then how can you ever expect them to preoccupy the thoughts of others? Something has to absorb your thoughts every second of every day. So, what should it be? Be obsessed with something. Make your dreams, goals, and mission your mind's and actions' dominant concern. The word obsess tends to have a negative connotation because many believe that obsession with something or someone is usually destructive or harmful. But show me one person who has achieved greatness without being obsessed or on some level. You simply cannot do it. Any individual or group that accomplished something significantly was completely obsessed with the idea of it. Whether it was an artist, musician, inventor, or businessman, change agent, or philanthropist, their greatness was the grade of their fixation. Someone once asked me if I've always been as obsessed with success and work as I am today. I answered, absolutely not. At first, I was until the age of 10, then I let it go and I didn't become obsessed until I was 25. I have remained that way in some greater or lesser degree ever since, and I regret to those years I was not obsessed with my dreams and goals. I can tell you that my life has gone much better since. I've been passionate about my dreams and goals even when things went wrong. I recently saw a television interview with Israeli President Shimon Peres. Mr. Peres was 87 years old at the time and had done 900 interviews over the prior of 18 months. His obsession with his mission makes him seem youthful and energetic, despite his age. Wow, so this president of Israel was 87 years old at the time. Wow, and he's been doing all these interviews, so that must be really youthful and energetic of him to see that. So that's pretty cool. Even those who may not believe in his mission have to admire his commitment to it, which is evidenced by his claim that work is better than vacation, and it is important to have purpose to wake up each day. Countless truly successful people agree with the sentiment that their careers do not feel like work, but rather something they love to do. That is obsession at its best. Children are wonderful. Children are a wonderful example of inherent obsession. They are almost instantly fixated with any task they encounter, learning, mimicking, discovering, playing, utilizing their full energy for whatever captures their interest. Unless some part of their development has been delayed, no child approaches his or her activities without thorough obsession and complete preoccupation of whatever they desire, be it a pacifier, toy, food, daddy's attention, or an urgent need to be changed. In this way, we see how obsession is a natural human state. It doesn't become a problem until a parent, caretaker, teacher, and eventually society as a whole begins suppressing this fixation. They often make the child feel as is his or her commitment to a goal is wrong rather than something natural and very right. At this point, many children begin to assume that their intense interest in life and discovery, their innate commitment to be fully engaged, it is somehow wrong or unnatural. They have essentially been bullied by others who have long ago given up their own obsessions in order to change their behavior. This is when a person moves from higher levels of commitment and action to average levels. Lest you think I'm talking about something with which I have no personal experience, I should tell you that I just had my first child. I will admit that although her obsessive nature rears its head at inconvenient times for me, I never want to suppress that. It is my fervent wish that my daughter becomes obsessed with whatever her dreams are. Never gives up achievement, achieving them, and then spends the rest of her life improving on them. I love the feeling that comes with being obsessed about an idea, and I admire seeing others who are that fanatical, who isn't moved by the people or groups that goes after the things in which they do with all their heart. Who is so consumed by their ideas that they wake up to their dreams each day, work on them all day long, and then go to sleep and dream about them all night. As soon as other people see the intention, conviction, and commitment in this passionate individual's thoughts, eyes, and movements, they quickly get out of the way. I suggest that you become obsessed with the things you want. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lifetime being obsessed with making up excuses as to why you didn't get the life you wanted. It is unfortunate that people in this kind of voracious obsession and fierce drive are categorized as off balance, work addicted, obsessive, and a whole litany of other labels. What if the world saw a person's unwavering passion, undying obsession, and bonfire like desire to see through his or her goals as gifts rather than as defects or diseases? Wouldn't we all accomplish more? Why do people have to turn a passion for excellence and an obsession to succeed into something negative? It is interesting, however, that once the obsessed finally do become successful, they are no longer labeled as crazy, but instead as geniuses, exceptions to the rule, and extraordinary. What if the world admired, expected, and even demanded that we all operate every single day with an obsessive focus on our goals? What if we punished the people who didn't act with passion and commitment and rewarded those who saw their projects through to the end? Our society would be overwhelmed with inventions, solutions, new products, and increased efficiency. What if the world encouraged obsession instead of judging it? What if the only thing standing in the way of your greatness was that you just had to go after everything obsessively, persistently, and as though your life depended on it? Well, it does. Would human beings have made it into space if a team of people hadn't been obsessed with making it happen? Can a country become great without its leaders being obsessed with greatness? Would any remarkable leader water down his or her dreams and encourage a team to adopt a take it or leave it attitude? Of course not. Do you want your team drugged, lethargic, and robotic, or obsessed with a positive outcome, victory? Never cut anything, never dilute greatness, outcome, and victory. Never cut anything. Oh, I just read that. Never cut anything, never dilute greatness, never pull back on your horsepower, and never put a limit on your ambition, drive, and passion. Demand obsession of yourself and all those around you. Never make it wrong to be obsessed. Instead, make it your goal. Demand obsession of yourself and all those around you. Never make it wrong to be obsessed. Instead, make it your goal. Obsession is what you will need to set 10x goals and to follow them up with 10x actions. Remember as well that making the goal too small won't allow you to gather the right fuel or take the right amount of action to break through the resistance, competition, and changing conditions. Nothing great will ever happen without someone becoming obsessed with the concept and then staying obsessed while approaching each task, challenge, and moment as vital, necessary, and a must. The ability to be obsessed is not a disease, it is a gift. All right, so we just finished chapter 12, chapter 13. How many more chapters do we have left? We got 23, so it's about half the book. Yep, so there's nothing wrong with being obsessed. Nothing wrong at all. It is a gift. Now there's if you got so obsessed that you didn't take care of yourself, you didn't feed yourself, you were always thinking about it. Sometimes you do have to take breaks from what you're working on. But other than that, I believe in passion and obsession. It's not a disease, it is a gift. I highly agree with that. Of course, you got to take care of yourself. So, yeah, we just finished 2 chapters. Really excited because when I read, sometimes I just read and I don't finish the chapter, I get really disturbed and kind of unmotivated. So it's nice being able to read it out loud and share it with you guys. So with that being said, have a nice day. Crush the day. We'll see you at the next live stream. I'll be dropping a video this week specific to Amazon or eBay. Hustle mode on. Take care, people.